Okay, this is an alternative way to do the math to figure out your empirical formula and molecular formula. You can only use this if you're trying to find empirical formula and molecular formula. So if you're calculating them both. If it's just to use, if you're just asked to find empirical formula, use the same way we've been doing, assume a 100-gram sample. So this is if you want to find both EMF and MF. So I'm going to do this example using question number 9 from yesterday's sheet. So this is from number 9. It said that nicotine gave 74.0% carbon, 8.7% hydrogen, and 17.3% nitrogen. The molar mass of the entire compound was 162.26 grams per mole. So that's the molar mass of your molecular formula. So this method to calculate actually works backwards, and we figure out the ratio of atoms in our molecular formula, and then we reduce it to empirical formula. So first of all, what we have to do is figure out the amount of carbon in our compound, amount of hydrogen in our compound, and then for nitrogen. So we're going to do carbon, hydrogen, and then nitrogen. So if it's 74%, carbon, we can write that as 74 over 100, or you can write it 0.74. So 74% of the compound is carbon. So 74% of the molar mass tells you the proportion that is just carbon. So you figure this out, and that is 0.74 times 162.26 grams per mole. So that's 120.07 grams per mole that is just carbon. If we take that portion that is just carbon and divide by the molar mass of carbon, we will find out how many carbon atoms there are in the molecule. So take 120.07, divide it by the molar mass of carbon, and that will give us 10 carbons. You don't have to worry about fractions here. You're just going to round these numbers off to the nearest whole number. It's the beauty of this one. So now we know that there's 10 carbons in our formula. Now we're going to do it for hydrogen and then for nitrogen. So 8.7% is hydrogen. So 0.087 times 162.26 grams per mole equals 14.116 grams per mole. Take this, divide by the molar mass of hydrogen, 1.01 grams per mole, and we get 14 hydrogens. Nitrogen, 17.3%. times 162.26 grams per mole equals 28.07 grams per mole. Divide that by the molar mass of nitrogen, and that gives us 2 nitrogen atoms in the compound. So what this gives us is the ratio of the atoms in our formula. So from this, you get the molecular formula. So our formula for a compound is C10, H14, N2, and that is our molecular formula. To get our empirical formula, find the lowest common multiplier. So here our smallest number is 2, so divide everything by 2. C5H7N1. So we go backwards with this method. We figure out our molecular formula first, and then we reduce it to get our empirical formula. And a bonus to this is we never have to worry about multiplying fractions to get whole numbers. So try today's questions using this method.